Hello, 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 Chicago Bears fans. And our season of misery continues after our eight straight loss last night. But anyway, welcome to the Bears Den podcast. I am Andy. We have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. I'm just going to throw up our topics. If you are watching us, please show us some love. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Please tell all your fellow Chicago Bear fans all about us. Check us out. Please don't be shy. Send us comments during the show. We love feedback. If you live in Charlotte, this is your last chance to join us this Sunday when we play the Detroit Lions in Soldier Field. Again, Boardwalk Billy's across from Charlotte 49ers campus. Again, Charlotte. So, guys, let me bring out the stars of the show, the guys you pay to see. I got Todd and I got the bad guy, Chicago Clarence. How are you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
So, guys, in case we did not watch the game last night, and I don't blame you if you did not watch the game last night, we got our ass handed to us again by Minnesota, 30-12. I personally thought it was pretty bad. But Todd, give me your first thoughts on what you saw last night.
Well, 30-12, I'm not even sure it felt like it was that close. There was never any threat that we were going to win.
No, I never ever thought we were going to win.
Some of the aggressive going forward on fourth down, it wasn't bad to see. We've got nothing to lose. I mean, why not? So, early on, it was the terrible first half like we always have, but we tried to make some things happen. So that's something. But some really bad passes, a lot of drops, defense that, is hurt and tired and don't care anymore. And, a couple surprising decent players that don't usually get too involved had a decent night. I liked Gordon had a pretty good night. I thought he did pretty well.
So Marcus Walker was actually on the field.
Marcus Walker had maybe the best game of his career.
Yeah, he did.
Not saying a whole lot. Sweat, was pretty decent, but it's what we expected. I mean, it was just, I don't think we win another game, so it's what we expected.
All right, the people paid to see this guy. Bad guy, what did you see last night?
In our pre-show, you flashed a graphic where we were talking about Eberflus in Minnesota. Do you mind putting that up, please?
About the hiring and firing of hiring
GM and coach, yeah.
So
yes,
when I'm watching the game and I see the results of it, and this is the second time in a few weeks we've lost to this team, this is what I thought of. Where we were in 2022 and where we are right now. The Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings fired their head coach and their general manager in the same within 48 hours of each other.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. And there's a franchise that went out there and it seems like they got the hires right.
Mm-hmm.
We have gotten the number one pick in that span. And look at us. We made, for all intents and purposes, made this generational trade that everybody seemed to be so high on. What do we have to show for it? We fired 3 offensive coordinators, a head coach, and 2 defensive coordinators in 2 years. That's terrible.
It is.
That is malpractice. And for a franchise to continue to give their fans what the Chicago Bears give us is criminal. I mean, there's just no other way to slice it. We continue to come right back and ask for more. They make empty promises. In our personal lives, if we were in a relationship and we got treated this way, we'd pack our shit and leave. We would run. We wouldn't even look back. If we were treated by somebody the way the Bears treat us, just look at it. How is it that in 2 years they can get it right and we can get it so wrong? I'm going to tell you how. It's because the ownership of the Chicago Bears is their worst enemy. And I had told you before, if you want to fix this, put their asses in the room, sit them down and go by line and ask them, how do you go about fixing X, Y, Z? And then you do the fucking opposite.
Yeah.
Because that is what we do. When I look at Bill Belichick down in Chapel Hill, becoming the head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels, and for my money, that's the guy that we needed to bring in here to fix it. Because what's wrong with this team is we need a culture change. We need to throw away the way we used to do shit in the past. Get rid of it. Burn it, blow it up. I don't give a damn. But we have got to change how we do business. And then shit will start to change on the field. But the fact that we don't even talk to him, for whatever reason, we just don't want to talk to him. We are sitting up there. We have hitched our wagons to the idea of bringing Ben Johnson in here. Why? Yeah. Because he is what's going on right now in coordinators. Have we not learned our lessons by hiring the hot coordinator? Because that's what Eberflus was. He was the hot shot coordinator. We ain't learned yet. We don't need to get somebody that knows how to coach one side of the ball. We need somebody in here that knows how to coach the whole fucking thing. That's what we need. And just because you're good at calling plays don't make you good at being a head coach. Everything about this team is broken. So you don't give me an offensive coordinator and you think he's going to come in here and fix shit? This team is broken. This franchise is lost. And I'm so mad because we talked about this the whole offseason. This was our greatest fear. And this is what we got. We have set ourselves back another year. You have stunted the growth of your quarterback. Anybody see how he was performing last night?
He got killed.
He is off time. He's off time. And what do you mean by that, Clarence? Meaning when you run a play and you're supposed to deliver the ball at a specific time of that play, he's late. It doesn't even matter. He's late delivering the ball. He sees ghosts. His footwork is horrible. And it's because he's been sacked 59 goddamn times. Right. That will get you out the habit. And if that doesn't alarm you, I don't know what will. He is on pace to break the fucking record for being sacked in the season. He's got 3 fucking games to go. And who else is worried about this?
Me.
He has been knocked down 59 fucking times. And the way that we run plays and call plays and draw up protection is asinine. Against one of the best defensive ends in the league, you're going to put a 3rd-round rookie who didn't have a training camp over there by him fucking self to block for your franchise quarterback, and that don't worry you? You don't put a tight end over there to help him out? And you wonder why your quarterback's getting fucking killed? Right. I mean, this is the shit that infuriates me.
Yeah.
And no matter who is calling plays, no matter who is running the show on the sideline, we are continuing to have to swallow bullshit game after game. And I'm so fucking tired of it. I am tired of being the national joke for the NFL. We are a fucking joke. People who have played this game, who have gold jackets, who are in the Hall of Fame, are looking at us and shaking their head. Because we're about to fuck up another quarterback.
So, of course, Mr. Chicago Clarence always gets the love. So, Minneapolis, Minnesota, preach it, bro. I like what I'm hearing.
So, I got a little bit. Look,
hold on. Eberflus fucked up the whole locker room.
Yeah.
It obviously wasn't just, I mean, it's just broken. It's broken it's broken way higher than Eberflus. I think he missed Allen a few times.
And Allen dropped some balls that were there too.
We had the drops all night last night. Brandon Weekly said ridiculous. Worst offensive line in the history of the NFL. And Minneapolis, Minnesota again said all facts, bro.
I got a couple. I mean, look, Ben Johnson is the hot hire. There's no question about that. It has been for a couple of years, and had the ability to turn down some. Like I know Charlotte did everything they could do, so I think that's true. When the year Eberflus came in, there were 10 head coaching changes. We were not a desirable job. We are still, regardless of this stupid streak, we're a desirable job because of Caleb, essentially. But I mean, McDaniels went to Miami that same year. Obviously, that was more desirable. Todd Bowles took the Tampa Bay job, and Ryan Dable took the Giants jobs. Nathaniel Hackett went to Denver. So there were a lot of guys higher on the list than Eberflus. I made him one person, Eberflus. But so that's he wasn't exactly the hot assistant, but nonetheless, that was of the guys that were on the list. That's what Poles chose. So, I'm not saying that Ben Johnson's the way to go either. I'm actually leaning towards Vrabel too.
I'm not convinced that we need to go.
I think that if we do mess up a quarterback, probably Vrabel messes him up because again, a defensive guy, but the team's lost all focus. And I don't know. You can't prove to me that Ben Johnson's going to be able to run the team the way it needs to be run. So it's I guess Belichick, Harbaugh, but again, that was never going to work. So that was the answer. This should have happened last year. And
all right, guys, please. Sorry to interrupt, Todd. Please keep the comments.
We beat this drum.
Monteopolis, Minnesota said Caleb definitely seems to have the mechanics. Bears need to get the best tackle or guard off the board. Yeah, we need both of those. And then a center, and then another guard, and then another tackle. Brandon Weekly said Caleb is taking a beating. Hopefully it doesn't shell shock him. I agree with that. When you think about what this kid has been through, and he's still I almost don't know what to say. Yes, he's taking one hell of a beating. Has he been perfect this year? No. Does he hold on to the ball? Yes. Does he miss open receivers? Yes. I mean, does he take sacks he shouldn't take? Yes.
He does that. Look, I think laying on the bench looked shell shocked to me last night.
Yeah,
and that's
he looked hurt.
He did,
yes.
And there's nothing else you could do. That just spoke volumes to me. It's
guys,
ugly.
Thomas Brown, I think it's safe to say he's not going to be the future head coach. Does anybody disagree with me?
No.
Bad guy? No. I mean, he's getting a raw deal. He had no chance of surviving this. The team had quit before he even took the tag of interim head coach. He's getting a raw deal. He is, but he's not going to be the head coach. If he can't get them to play for him, there's no point in trying to sign Thomas Brown for next year, right?
No.
The thing that bothers me though,
Go ahead.
With being said, what really sticks in my craw is when we talking about players quitting on the coach or quitting on the team, you quit on the fans too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You quit on the people like you, Andy, who get on the fucking plane and fly to wherever the places you have flown to and watch them play. No matter how many times they get paid a month, whether it's once or twice, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars being deposited into your account twice a month.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing that this is the kind of effort that you go out there and get. That's what you are fucking paid to do. You are paid to go out there and play. I don't give a shit about the quarterback. I don't give a shit about the coach. You are being paid handsomely to go out there and perform. And that is not what we pay you to do. The effort that you have put forth on the field against the Arizona Cardinals, against the New England Patriots, against the Detroit Lions, against the Minnesota Vikings. It's embarrassing to watch your team go and have teams go up and down the field like they are fucking practicing. The San Francisco 49ers were wounded ducks, and they played with you. So I don't give a shit about you talking about, oh, they quit on this guy, they quit on that guy. You are fucking millionaires. You are being paid very handsomely to play a game. We don't pay you to go out there and quit, drop balls, miss assignments. That is bullshit.
It was terrible last night. Like, I forget how many drop balls they assigned to DJ Moore, Keenan Allen.
Really.
And then, oh my fucking God, was.
That's a terrible nickname.
It's his nickname. It's his nickname. But like Clarence said, you help the kid out. You put a tight end over there, or a tight end at fullback, or Kramer in at fullback, and you chip. You at least chip that defensive edge. You at least chip him.
Gerald Everett right there the whole game, or
Mercedes Lewis.
Mercedes Lewis, yeah, for sure.
To be a brilliant blocking tight end. They just let him get killed.
Spot, for sure.
And you're Kramer. You're Kramer. Yeah, you are a backup center. So explain to me, when you get a chance to go in on offense, how in God's name do you forget to fucking report as an eligible receiver? That's the first thing you do. Yeah. And you don't do it. You don't even go near the official. We get a touchdown call back because of you not reporting as an eligible receiver. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. And for George McCaskey to sit up there in that owner's box and have a dumbfounded look on his face, this is your fault. It's nobody else's. Yeah. This is your fault. We have watched 13 games. They have fed us bullshit for the last 8. I am sick of it. I'm tired of it. We deserve better than this.
Well, like the thing I saw today, we've been rebuilding since '86, and we still haven't got it right. And it's true. We have not been relevant since the Super Bowl season. I mean, there's nothing to brag about or talk about except since '86. We have nothing to hang our head. No, we didn't. We haven't done nothing.
We went to the Super Bowl in 2009.
Yes, we did. We could have won that game, but that's another podcast.
We were a really good team in '86 and '87, and then it kind of.
Well, I mean, we got to be honest now. '86. We had that season derailed because of a late dirty hit by the Green Bay Packers.
We did.
That's true.
You know, had that not happened, we were going to dominate again. I mean, we were up 14-0 in the NFC Championship game against the Redskins, but it caught up to us. But if we're going to give part of the story, we got to give the whole thing. '86 was derailed because we lost our quarterback. We was never the same the moment Jim McMahon got hurt. He was never the same. I mean, the guy did he break his collarbone and dislocated his shoulder or something when he slammed him? I mean, and how the Bears didn't actually take that guy apart for doing that is beyond me. I mean, that should have been a full-fledged fight.
Yeah, it should have been. That is when I started to hate the Green Bay Packers, was right then and there.
But, we had a good team in 2009. Lovie Smith should have stayed with Kyle Orton.
And he should have
stayed with Thomas Jones at running back. Those two coaching decisions fucked us up. We were up 7-0. We get the ball. Indianapolis gets the ball. We forced them to go 3 and out, and they put the ball to us. Now this is the worst special teams in the league that year. Yeah. And Hester sitting on the bench. He had just returned a touchdown, the opening kickoff for a touchdown. And he did kickoff and punt returns that year, and we don't even have him in the game. I mean, coaching matters. Yes. Coaching matters.
Yeah. So, guys, this is the hottest topic for the Chicago. Ryan Poles' future. Forget all the bullshit we're hearing. Bottom line is he has 1 year left. That's the bottom line. 1 year. If should he even be allowed to hire the head coach if he does not want to commit? I mean, don't you want to marry the GM and the coach? That is the in vogue thing to do. Marry the GM, the coach, and the quarterback. I mean, if this man's not going to commit, doesn't he need to walk after this season's over? I mean, do you want him to commit? Because I personally think he needs to go. I was on the fence. I'm leaning towards he needs to go.
Now, we talk about him committing to the Bears or the Bears committing to him. Because
either way,
he looked like body language was just off the charts at that 30 seconds he was on the screen last night, and it just looks like he can't wait for this to be over too. I mean, I think they've probably already agreed to something where he walks but I'm not happy about it, but I think, at some point, you just have to let it go, right? I mean, it's just this is, this losing streak is just
if he's not going to be here, he shouldn't have no say in our next head coach.
well, right? Yeah,
I think we either got to make a decision on him or he needs to go.
Yeah, he either gets a new contract or he's gone. I mean, he doesn't.
Does he deserve a new contract?
Well, right.
Does he deserve? Because I'm say he does not. The offensive line, defensive line is on him. That is on him, and this whole Flus debacle is on him.
It is.
I mean, he's got his hands in the sink. He's washing his hands. They're dirty. Chicago Clarence. Polls. I mean, 1 year left. If he's the next head coach, he's going to have a say, or should he have a say, or should he not, or should he go? Or
couple things. You want to give your general manager more than one head coach,
right?
So you want your general manager and your head coach to be married,
right?
So
I agree with that.
I'm not opposed to him getting a 3-year deal if we gave our head coach something like that. And this is not all on him.
Mm-hmm.
If the reports are correct that he wanted to fire Eberflus after the New England game, we could have saved our season.
Yes, we could have.
Number two, if it was Kevin Warren who vetoed Harbaugh, this is not all on polls. This season right here is not happening if Jim Harbaugh is the coach.
No.
This season right here is not happening if Lovie Smith is the head coach. So if those reports are correct, then no, it's not all on polls. Does most of the dirty laundry fall at his door? Yes. But there are things where he actually tried to fix, and ownership and Kevin Warren got in the way. So this is on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you sit there and try to blame it all on polls if you're Kevin Warren and you're the guy that vetoed Harbaugh because you don't fucking like the guy.
Right.
That is the problem of this football team. And it went back to the offseason when we were criticizing polls about doing the best thing for Justin Fields, when you should have been doing the best thing for the fucking team.
Right. Yeah, that got a little too touchy-feely there at the end.
That's the thinking of this football team. Do what's best for the team. Get your feelings out of it. Do what's best for the team. I wish I could go in there and fire all their asses. Because Kevin Warren has done nothing that he was brought here to do. That stadium situation is still in limbo. When are we going to announce what's going to happen with that? You done been here almost a year.
Right.
What's going on with it? That was your number one baby. What's going on with it?
Not just number one. It was presented as this is why he's here. It looks like a power grab for Warren, honestly. And I've been saying all along that the Warren is a problem with Harbaugh, but I've also leaned that Harbaugh didn't want a GM, but he took a GM in LA. He works under a GM. He's not in charge of all the player personnel. So and if we was his preferred job, which is what we were led to believe,
which is what I heard him say.
Which then Warren goes and those two guys work together, and that would have been great.
Brandon brings up a good point. Let's go with this. If the Kevin Warren rumors are true, and he would not even give Harbaugh even a dinner, a lunch, whatever.
Right.
Should he be fired for that? Don't you want to explore every option available to upgrade your team? And like I've said before, if you get a chance to work with somebody that always kicks your ass, always beats your ass, isn't that the type of person you want on your team?
Yeah, but
I get my ass kicked by him. I want him on my team.
Yeah, but from what you hear, that went both ways. That Harbaugh can't stand Warren, so and probably more so.
But he was willing to come here, though.
Yeah.
He was willing to come here. He wanted to be paid for his efforts.
Yeah,
I mean, this team is a mess.
It is.
You're not gonna give me $4 or $5 million to come in here and fix this shit, and travel through all of this murkiness because you guys don't know what the hell y'all are doing. You prove it every fucking year. We are inept at making decisions, and it's from ownership on down.
Yeah.
Virginia McCaskey has absolutely no business owning this team. She has let her sons make a mockery of this flagship franchise. They have never, ever been in position to run it correctly. Anytime you got to go out there and hire a firm to make decisions you should be making, lets me know you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, yeah, they're not like the average owner that spent hundreds of millions of dollars, or billions of dollars at this point to own a team. It just fell in their laps, and they don't know what they're doing.
I mean, Ryan Poles right now is responsible for two of our longest losing streaks in Chicago Bears history. 14 games in 8 games.
Was that his
I
first
thought it
year?
couldn't get worse under Nagy. I mean, Trestman was really bad, but good God Almighty,
I feel like this is worse than Trestman because maybe
Trestman
I don't
was pretty
remember.
bad.
I agree.
We got our asses handed to us
Trestman
3 times on
was bad.
national TV.
But did we have high expectations? I mean, I know we didn't. All of us picked at least challenge for the 7th seed this year.
Right.
I don't recall having high expectations for Trestman at all. Like
Trestman
makes it worse.
They had some talent. The other losing streak with under Poles is we didn't have the talent that we have now.
No.
That's what makes this much worse. I mean,
yes,
we're actually
we have
pretty
talent,
solid team, and just
except on the trenches,
played terrible. Well,
our problem is the trenches. So, guys, let me ask you something. Braxton Jones, we talked about it before we came on air. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, nothing. Friday, he reports he has concussion symptoms. I mean, he, like Clarence said before we went on air, he maybe wanted to play. He had every intention to play, but he should have reported this on Monday. So, Armour, my fucking Gotchi, could have been practicing with the first team all week. I mean, getting first team reps. I don't know if that would have made a difference last night. Probably not, because Grenard is a pretty good defensive end. He's really fast, but this is the second time this year that Nate Davis, we needed him earlier this year. We finally activated him. It's go time. Oh, I got a leg injury. I can't go. Like, what? Like, this is not normal.
But do we know, when these symptoms came on? Was there any practicing this week? Was it something? I mean, we don't have enough information on it.
No.
Yeah, he could have been trying to battle through it and play.
We don't have.
Could have been.
And Amagachi is really projection side. He's not a tackle.
And then he was a 3rd-round pick. Same with Velus Jones Jr. These were both Poles picks, and we're getting no return on either of these guys. A 3rd rounder, we should at least get some kind of a rotation piece, at least. And these 2 guys, like that was bad last night.
I think if we let Tevin walk, there's a shot that Amagachi's a starting guard next year. We'll
There's
see.
no way.
Oh
There's
God,
no
way.
There's no way. There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
I mean, our offense last night was 1 for 12 on 3rd down. Our defense was 7 of 14. What do you guys think of all the long plays we gave up on 3rd down? I mean, what has happened to this defense?
The 3rd and 18.
10,
the 3rd and 18 is what infuriated me the most.
3rd and 17. We're just like, we just go so, like, to me, the one that pissed me off the most was TJ Hawkinson. They ran a simple clear out, same as they did against us earlier in the year when Nick Mullins threw one pass, ran everybody deep. TJ Hawkinson had the hole underneath all by himself. How can we not stop one of the most basic routes that every team has in their playbook? Like, what are we doing? Like, how did we get here? Like, it was so bad last night. The 3rd and long, if they got in 3rd and long, it was like guaranteed they were going to convert. If they got in 3rd and short, maybe we could stop them. But 3rd and long, we were just that was guaranteed they were going to convert.
It's like what Todd said earlier. We have beat this horse to death.
Yeah,
and we've talked about this before. If you run a cover 2 defense, which most of the defenses in the NFL does, you have got to have one thing. You have got to have the ability to generate pressure with your front 4. If you do not do that, if you cannot do that, you are going to get picked apart by competent quarterbacks. And then if you throw in the fact that you are a team that does not like to blitz, then your ass is really cooked. That
in
is
the
what
hat.
we are. That is the reason why we can have teams in third and long and continue to give up first downs, usually to the tight end and or running backs.
Yeah.
Because we allow them to run right through our zone, sit down in an open area, and the quarterback throws the ball because he's got all fucking day to deliver it.
Yeah, we got a little pressure in the first quarter, and Darnold looked terrible. Anytime you got anywhere near him, he looked terrible. But, it didn't hold up. It lasted for 10 minutes maybe.
Thank you, Brandon, for the compliment. He likes our show, but he has to head out. Thank you. Join us anytime.
So, but, I feel like we got a little more pressure than we've gotten in the last couple of weeks.
Like, to me, our best play on defense last night was when we finally went to zero blitz. We sent TJ Edwards up the gut, and we got the quarterback to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we need to do on third and long, so we don't give them time to run their routes. So we make Darnold get rid of that ball quicker. But instead, we're in a zone. We're not getting home to the quarterback. They're just sitting back there picking us apart.
I mean, none of those guys want to get hit. Pressure alleviates everything. But,
So, guys, let me ask you this. We're talking about players.
Yeah.
These three guys came up last night. Are we getting enough bang for a buck for DeAndre Swift, Edmonds, and Sweat? I mean, Troy Aikman, I don't forget exactly what he said, but he said we need an alpha male on that defensive line because we don't have one. But we're paying Sweat alpha male money. We're paying Terrell Edmonds alpha male linebacker money. Yeah. Are we getting enough bang for a buck for these three guys? Anybody?
I think, Edmonds is an interesting player. He's long. He's a better coverage linebacker. He's not a typical bear in-your-face linebacker. Edwards does more against the run, and he's had a down year, so it's made it look worse. But, so Edmonds' traits don't really fall into what we look at as on a as a 3-4 middle linebacker.
Supposedly loved havoc wreaking weak side linebackers, but last year and this year before he got fired, I never saw it. I know he likes havoc wreaking defensive tackles, 3 techniques. But
I think that Sweat had a pretty decent game last night, best he's had in a while. We speculated that he's a little hurt. If he has a running mate, he's solid. If he's the only guy that's going to get pressure, then he's just another guy. Swift is a second-tier running back. Maybe
he can't hit holes. He cannot find holes.
I think he's a little nicked up too. So I think if you have a good tandem, he's a good second guy. But we're playing.
He's deadly. He's deadly in the open field.
And Roshan's not really that guy either. But he's good short yardage and hard to bring down. But but he's out. So it's Swift and Homer. Come on.
So it's bad guy. What are you thinking about these three guys? We get enough bang for our buck?
Well, Sweat was supposed to be the starter to having a dominant defense. He was just supposed to be one piece. We never added the other piece.
Right.
And the one thing that this defense has been missing the whole time has been the 3 technique. And as you guys know, you need a dominant defensive tackle to keep those offensive linemen from going to the second level. Keep them off your linebackers. Your linebackers are only as good as the defensive line. And if you got a sorry defensive line, then your linebackers are going to get exposed because it's going to, they're not going to be able to shed blocks from a 300-pound guy grabbing them. So they ain't going to be able to get off blocks. That's not what they're supposed to do. Your defensive line is supposed to engage with the O-line, and your linebackers are supposed to clean up the mess. We don't have that. And so that's the reason why our linebackers are struggling. Last year, our linebackers played pretty well.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but you're seeing what's happening. We've got injuries on that D line, and it's being exposed. That's one of the misses that we said again in the offseason. We didn't add a 3 technique to this defense.
Right. They started Pickens and Coward last night. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah, so and then when you talk about Swift, we should have never signed it Swift.
No,
we should. Roshan Johnson has the ability to be an every down back. He runs the ball between the tackles with bad intentions. That is the reason why we drafted him. He has never had a fair opportunity to show what he can do since he was at the University of Texas.
Yeah, and he's great in pass protection. So
Yes, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield.
right.
But for some unforeseen reason, we refuse to let him tote the rock
We made
as
him a
an every
short
down
yardage.
back.
We made him a short yardage touchdown back this year.
And that's the first move that Poles made in the
Yeah,
offseason free
it
agency
was.
is
Yeah,
he gave that money to Swift.
I
And it
think it
made
was
no
shocking.
sense.
It wasn't just our first signing. I think it was the first signing
It
in
was
all of free
shocking.
agency.
Yeah,
That was
it
like
was
shocking
it was
to me.
our first signing. It was our first signing, and there was no need to do that when you got Roshan Johnson sitting right there. You
And
know,
we
so
we had Herbert under contract. We still could have brought back Foreman, who I liked the best last year, but we didn't use him at all.
Foreman was a cancer in the locker room. There's too many reports saying so.
Yeah,
He's been to too many different teams
Right.
where he performed well, and for
Right.
some reason, people have let him go. I am convinced that's the problem.
I mean, if you look at the running back signings just in our division, the free agent wise, I mean, it was the tail end of free agency when Jones signed with Minnesota,
Yes.
and it was well into free agency when the Packers signed what's his name?
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Right. So I mean, there was no reason to rush that. If you weren't all in, well, we were supposedly all in on Saquon, but obviously he's going to go with the a better offensive line, and that
Can't
was the right
blame
move.
him.
So if we weren't going to nail him, we didn't have to immediately go after Swift because I don't.
And we were in the running for him, and had they given that money to Saquon, I wouldn't have had a problem with it to a certain degree. But we have bigger fish to fry. We have bigger needs than a running back. Saquon is a generational talent at the position. You could have sold me on it, but we should have been out there trying to beef up that offensive line and defense. That's where our money should went. We should not have given it to Swift.
Yeah, I mean the Vikings are a surprise. They weren't supposed to contend for they were a playoff team probably, but they hit home runs in free agency and even during the season in acquiring players. That was the difference, and they talked about that a lot last night during the game. The guys that they were able to bring in, and so those, and that's put them where they are.
What would you do? I know you were fairly big on McCarthy, Todd.
I was.
What would you do? No, I mean, out of curiosity, what would you do now with Darnold? He's this is his only year. He's 1 year. Do you resign him or do you go with McCarthy?
I think when they
just out of curiosity,
Daniel Jones, what would I do? I wouldn't have gone with McCarthy. So, but they didn't expect this to happen. They're going to let him walk. They're not going to be able to pay him.
No,
they've got too many bodies in the room now, especially with Daniel Jones. So they have to. They made their decision when they what would he go 11? I think when they took him at I believe it was 11. So almost a top 10 pick. That's their future. That's what they're going to go with. So, but he may be another year behind Daniel Jones, who I think has a year on whatever they signed him for, but he needs to do a prove it year. So he'll have to red shirt again probably. So he's probably starting the following year with McCarthy or taking over sometime during the year next year.
Yeah, he'll be on somebody's roster next year, no doubt.
Yeah, Darnold. There's suitors. I mean, Tennessee. Yeah,
the kind of year he's had. Yeah,
sure.
I'm very curious if he can follow that up.
Yeah, I think he falls into like that Baker Mayfield. So he's going to hit what 30 million, something like that. That's solid second tier.
So guys, this Sunday we have Detroit, and as of right now, they are 7-point favorites.
They're pretty good.
And they're predicted to. ESPN has them predicted to win 71%. That's a little low to me, but whatever. The weather should favor nobody. It's not supposed to be nasty. 30 degrees is the high, but nothing falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
But Detroit, they're in trouble with injuries, and they're coming off a loss, so they're going to be pissed off. I expect them to beat our ass.
Yeah.
But they have something like 20 players on IR. Montgomery has torn his PCL.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I hate it. I mean, that's one guy that I love that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that guy.
So is there any chance we win? I know it's 1% because we got to play the game. I would say 1% chance. But it is outside in Chicago. No chance? No takers?
I mean, but Goff's a California guy. He plays inside.
Have you seen us play lately?
I know. And plus, they're coming off a loss. They're pissed off.
We don't know what we're doing on neither side of the ball.
That's
it
true.
doesn't. San Francisco has shown you that it doesn't matter about injuries. They got an elite play caller over there. Guess what
Mhm.
Detroit has on offense? An elite play caller. He's
Yeah.
gonna take Washington's lunch money on
And our boy,
Sunday.
Craig says Detroit is hurt, but they have something we don't and can't be taught, which is heart, which I agree with. We show no heart, no punch, no nothing.
Do we know if
They've
we're
got
getting?
they've got competency on the sideline too.
Yeah.
Are we getting anybody back?
Who? Walter
Yeah.
Payton? Olin Kreutz?
I was thinking maybe Dexter. I don't know. So, somebody that can fill a spot anyway. But I don't know. I don't think so. Their offensive line's going to push us around. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be.
And they're pissed off.
That's the
And they're
best
pissed
offensive
off.
line in football. I mean, they're going to run the ball right down our throats. They don't need it. I mean, hell, San Francisco shows you don't even matter. You put back there. We have given up.
Yeah.
This team's got no fight in them at all.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Poles couldn't wait till the end of the season, and McCaskey, and we've said it. We can't wait. They can't wait either. They're ready to go home too. So.
Well, this is going to be the last time I'm going to be able to get together with my guys and watch the game. So,
yeah. What about that last game with the Packers? Did they set a time for that?
I'm sure it'll be 1:00 is irrelevant for us.
Yeah,
I mean, if the Packers it may be a seeding game for them, but it's irrelevant.
We got a Thursday night game coming up. Is that the Seattle game?
I know we play Sunday
That's
this week,
Christmas.
and we play. I think we play Sunday against the Packers, but I didn't see if it was if they were gonna. There's no reason to flex that out to the night game because there's no interest.
No.
So that should be at 1:00.
Yeah. So that's our remaining schedule.
Yeah. So anyway.
So
yeah, I'm not gonna make Sundays. I'm gonna be gone. So
Detroit, Seattle, and Green Bay. So we have 2 home games left, and then Green Bay away.
Yeah, the Seattle's a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day after Christmas. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it is a home game. It will be outside. Weather could be in our favor, but I don't see us winning that one either.
Hey, we don't need to win that game. We need a drive pick
now. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a couple of guys that I don't think we get at 9. That if we can get to 6, maybe we get a shot at. We'll see.
Updated draft, we're at 9 right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So go Jets.
So our boy, I know normally all we talk about is the Bears. For our boy, Chicago Clarence wanted us to touch on the Heisman. So Chicago Clarence, as you brought this up, I'll let you take away the Heisman. I'll put a little graphic on the screen. This shows the voting. Travis Hunter got first. Genty got second. And Gabriel got third. So Chicago Clarence, I know something has to be on your mind because you wanted us to bring this up. So take it away.
Well, I mean, it was just the main thing is, there was a lot of pundits out there that who felt like Ashton Genty got robbed. And I don't think so. I think the award went to the best player in football, and that's Travis Hunter. How he wasn't a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, which goes to the best cornerback in college football, is an anomaly to me. People were afraid to throw to the guy. They were afraid to throw to his side, and if you did, he made you pay for it. He is a willing tackler. That's something Deion Sanders never was.
Never was.
So he's a willing tackler. He will thump you. And, the fact that he's one of the top wide receivers. But you got to think about this now. Is there wide receivers that have better numbers than him? Yes. But they play one side of the ball. This dude hardly ever comes out the game. And he plays in a Power 5 conference. Ashton Genty doesn't play in the Power 5 conference. He's running against a bunch of nobodies and their mamas. So don't talk to me about his historical numbers. He's only played 2 ranked teams the whole damn year. Stop it with that. Travis Hunter, deservedly so, won the Heisman. Stop it with the debate. There should be no debate.
I thought he should have won the Heisman as well. I didn't think there was a debate. Todd, how do you feel about it? I mean,
I think that's right. I mean, I'm surprised that people are getting. Must be a slow week. I don't know. That seems pretty obvious to me. So, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's guys that you play every down. I mean, and that thing goes to some offensive player every year. I mean, I mean, what the Michigan player from what
Charles
25
Woodson against
yeah,
Peyton
Charles
Manning is what
Woodson,
you're
right,
thinking about.
right. Yeah, so I mean, the kid deserves
I
it.
personally didn't
And
have a problem with that one.
he's got a spotlight on him all the
Yeah.
time. I mean, Colorado football's,
Yeah.
it's must watch since Dion's been there, and and he's the name that you watch, right? That and Shador,
Yeah.
but so and he's he's come to play every week, so for sure.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. So guys, Todd, what are your final thoughts about our our losing 8-game, 9-game, 10-game? I don't even I'm quick
Yeah,
counting our losing streak that we can't get out of. What are your final thoughts about our losing team this season?
I'm just I'm disgusted by all of it. I mean, we really, this is the biggest underachievement I can remember. Just
Yes.
we've had really bad teams, right? But we knew we were bad. This year
Yes.
we're really not, and they've literally given up, and we we can't continue this way. So I this week I would have been shocked on all this, everybody coming on the poll side of it, but I think maybe you make a change. I think and maybe you let maybe you let a coach pick the guy he wants. I think, I don't know, if there's somebody in Detroit that's worth it, then maybe you make a deal that way, or or Vrabel, or or I would say Belichick, but that would have been a terrible idea from that standpoint. But I just we screwed up, and unfortunately, screwing up on this Harbaugh thing, it may affect us for years. And I hate to say that, but that might be the case.
So Craig said he needs to come on our show. I know Chicago Clarence is going to like this guy. My final thoughts is the team is a complete disaster from top to bottom. No heart from the players and no brains from management.
Yeah,
that's what we've been saying. So my final thoughts. I'm glad my boy Chicago Clarence gave a shout out to Jim Thorpe. There's actually a town in Pennsylvania called Jim Thorpe, which has his grave site. It's in Northeast Pennsylvania. That's where I'm from, Allentown area. So it's not often Jim Thorpe gets mentioned on the show. And for me, Jim Thorpe means the player, the legend in Northeast Pennsylvania. So I'm glad Chicago Clarence brought him up. He was a unique guy, to say the least. So, but with that being said, I have almost no words left to describe this season. Like I thought we were going to be challenged for the 7th seed. I mean, that's where I picked them. I own it. I admit I picked them to at least. Yeah. I didn't pick them to win a playoff game. I didn't pick them to win the division. But I at least picked them to challenge for the 7th seed. I thought we were good enough, and I thought we were ready. And boy, I couldn't be any more wrong. It's a shit show. Like it is I guess the circus is in town. It's in Chicago. It's just a circus, and it's run by the rodeo clowns. It's just, like I said, I have no words left. But bad guy Chicago Clarence, take us home.
I got a shocker for you guys. I mean, I don't have no words either. It's we have watched bad football together for years, and this is one of the worst seasons that I can imagine, having to sit there week after week and watch bad football. And not just a losing team, guys. We look bad at doing it.
Horrible.
I mean,
horrible.
It's football follies. You got grown men, professional football players, looking like they're the bad news bears. Missed assignments, mistakes, drops. We got infighting. We got people calling out the coach. We got people, taunting the fans when they're supposed to be paying attention, and we lose a game on a Hail Mary. I mean, this is everything that has been wrapped up in one disappointing football season. I mean, we started out with Hard Knocks, and reports coming out that, the owner doesn't want to hear cursing on it, and You subject us, the fans, to this every season. Every season we are subjected to putrid, pathetic football. And it's not just the game and the stuff that happens on the field, it's stuff that happens off the field that makes us look bad. What other team goes by and purchase hundreds of millions of dollars on property to build a new stadium before they can even lock the agreement down? What other franchise does that?
We do. Right
Meanwhile, you're playing in a building that you're still making the payments on for the remodeling. And you've been doing that for a decade. I mean, this is mismanagement. And then you give us a 4-9 season right now when we've lost 8 games in a row, and you got the audacity with a straight face to ask for public funds to help you pay for that bullshit up there in Arlington Heights, and we're supposed to jump at that? You got the audacity to ask for public funds to help you do whatever you're going to do in downtown Chicago, and which is still going to give you the lowest seat capacity arena in football? That makes no sense. But only to the Chicago Bears. Only to them. You know, and I would never, because football is just a game. Let me get this part straight. I would never, ever advocate for someone to die just so things can get better around a football game. I would never advocate that. But when does this end? When does it change? Because this ownership don't know what they're doing. They have given us decades of proof that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And it's the hiring practices. It's the decisions that they make before they even go out there and hire anybody. You know, you're going to let a Super Bowl winning coach, Bill Belichick just got, what, 5-6 rings?
6.
And he's on the market. He's on the market.
Yeah.
He is arguably the greatest football coach to ever live. He's on the market, and you don't even go talk to him. You don't even gauge his interest if he may be willing to come here and help fix this shit show. And then you have the audacity to sit there and through back channeling tell us that it's going to get done right. We got to hear about the general manager's fucking feelings hurt because he was once reporting to the idiot and now he has to report to the other idiot. So he's mad because which idiot he's reporting to.
Yes.
You know, and we're 4-9 and you ask me if I give a fuck. I don't. I do not. Because this is what you gave us. Yeah. You gave us hope. You sold us on hope before this season started, and you turned around and you gave us bullshit. And for that, it's going to be hard for me to forgive you. Because I go into this offseason with no kind of hopes that you can fix this. Because you have proven to us you don't know how. Because you continue to do shit your way. And it's wrong. No matter how you slice it, every time you go into the offseason with decisions to make, you fuck it up. Harbaugh was right there twice. And you let him go. And then you have Bill Belichick dropping your lap. And you don't even want to talk to him. But you want to tell me you waiting for a guy who ain't never been a head coach before because you like the way he calls plays? Are you fucking kidding me? And your team is in disarray, and you just want to go get a play caller because you want to finally join this phenomenon of 20th century offensive football? You're averaging 180 yards passing a game. A game. Do you know how pathetic that is? A game. You went to the halftime last game with 12 yards of total offense. 12. I mean, for God's sake, Stevie Wonder could be your quarterback and gave you more than 12 yards of offense. But this is what you give us. We look bad in every facet of the game except our motherfucking punter.
Yep.
He's the only thing that we can't complain on, and his ass has seen plenty of work. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. They have got to have a culture change in the building. A coming to Jesus meeting. Somebody has got to have the balls to tell George to shut the fuck up and sit down.
Yep.
Because
That's what
your
needs to
way
happen.
has been wrong. You have been to the playoffs one time, one win under this dude's tutelage. One since he became the chairman of the team. So it's obvious that your way don't work. And we should all be tired of it. Everybody, the people in Chicago should be raising hell. Why do you even go to the games? Why do you even subject yourself to sit out there in the cold, 10 below weather, and watch that bullshit? Andy, why do you spend your hard-earned money to go and fly and watch that shit? I mean, I'm just asking you. I mean, it's your money. I mean, it's your money. But goddamn, you can't spend money on nothing else.
I have mental problems. I own it, at least. I have mental problems.
30 seconds here. In insane football that's not, not bear world, but real life, it was good to see all the Randy Moss well wishes last night. So that was
But I will say Chicago, yes, I agree with you about Randy Moss. I know cancer is a fucking bitch. As I said before, I lost my mom to cancer very recently, liver cancer. It's a terrible, terrible. There's no words to describe it, to see a loved one slowly get weaker and weaker, and just there's no words to describe it. It's a terrible disease. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But now I was going to say something else. Real quick, we have 3 minutes. Ben Johnson, would he be the fix? My vote is no.
Maybe.
I vote no.
I don't know.
Like, can he run a team? Can he hire the right coordinators?
We don't know that. That's the reason why I'm so upset about that. We need to hire somebody that's already done it. You let Belichick go to Chapel Hill. The guy now is Mike Vrabel. He's the guy. He's not going to tolerate the bullshit that goes on in the building right now. And I know he got fired from Tennessee, but guess what? He didn't have a quarterback. We seem to think we got one in Chicago. So to me, he would be the obvious choice to bring him in here to fix this shit.
He got fired over power struggle with the GM. So I don't know that's a bad thing. So, I think he's going to want more power, but I'm at this point ready to give it to him. So anyway.
We got to do something different than what we've been doing.
I know.
The way we do business has not worked. We prove it to ourselves. We've proven it to the fans. We got to change the way we do business. And then maybe our fortunes would change on the field.
All right, guys. With that being said, I'll see you guys Sunday. Oh, we got one last comment. I'll put it on the screen. I agree. Mike is a hard-nosed guy that will not take shit. We're talking about Vrabel.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see. Well, until next time, guys, bear down. See you next time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for showing us some love. And thank you again. Bear down.
When of y'all bring the aspirin on Sunday?
Ibuprofen, 8 milligrams or 32 milligrams.
I got 800.
Yeah.